is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Naomi. I am a first-time mom. This is my first pregnancy. I am 8 months pregnant currently, and I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling super done and, ready for this baby to come. I'm going to be talking about things no one tells you about pregnancy. And these are some things that I wish people would talk about more. I want these things to be normalized. So I've got my little handy dandy notebook here, and I've listed some points that I've personally really struggled with, and I want to be quite frank and honest. So without further ado, let's get into it. I do want to start with a disclaimer and say that I am extremely grateful that I am able to carry a baby. I don't want anyone to get me wrong in that aspect. Definitely love this baby, and I'm very excited and grateful. But with that being said, it doesn't mean that pregnancy is hard, and it doesn't mean that I'm entitled to my own opinion. With that being said, I do not like being pregnant. I'm one of those people that wanted to have a huge family, and now that I'm actually starting my family, sorry, my dog is whining. Now that I'm actually pregnant, it's a whole different ballgame. Oh my god. Now that I'm actually pregnant, it's a whole different ball game. It's not fun, and I'm just really rethinking how many kids I personally want to carry. This is hard as if I'm gonna be frank. Let's get into the first thing. Yeast infections. Something that I didn't know about pregnancy that no one really told me. You are more prone to getting yeast infections. Now, this might be TMI, but definitely got a yeast infection. I'd never had one before, but when I googled the symptoms, it was like immediately yeast infection, and I was like, dang it. And I kind of already knew, and I had to go into my doctor, and I let him know, and he prescribed me some stuff, and we're good now. But apparently yeast infections are very common when you're pregnant because your hormone imbalances can disrupt the pH level of your vagina. So with that being said, look out for that one if that happens to you. They're very uncomfortable and painful if you've ever had one. Moving on to the second thing is varicose veins / bulging veins. This is something no one ever told me about, and I was just kind of like, what the, is this on my leg type of thing. So again, good old Google told me that they're just very common. Just changes in pregnancy can cause your veins to bulge, and this is something that my mom had as well, so it's no surprise that I have the same thing. Now, I don't have any varicose veins yet, but my veins are definitely showing more on my legs, and that really sucks because as someone who suffers with body dysmorphia, and if you do too, and you understand that, it sucks. It sucks to see your body change like that, and mentally, it's really hard. The third thing, which for me is personally not a big deal, but it is a hairy belly. I definitely grew a lot more hair on my belly, and I have no idea why. I'll look it up. Why do we get hairy bellies when we are pregnant? It's, again, says your body goes through dramatic hormonal fluctuations and includes a rapid increase in estrogen. For me personally, that's not the biggest deal, but that's something to be prepared for if you've never been pregnant. Sorry, I'm just standing because the lighting's really good right here. The fourth point now is restless leg syndrome at night. Now, I've never had issues with restless leg syndrome. Maybe I had problems with it back in the day, but no. It's crazy now. Like, I'm so tired and sleepy all day long, and then once the night comes, I'm wide awake. And I try to go to bed, and my leg just shakes and shakes and shakes and shakes. And it's actually really disrupting because I feel like I don't have very good quality sleep. So I wake up really groggy, and sleep is just not a thing in your third trimester. I'm gonna say it. It's kind of hard. You're just really big and uncomfortable, and it's hard to breathe. And then on top of that, your leg shakes at night. Fifth thing is vitamins. So like the prenatal vitamins you take, those make you sick. Now, again, not everyone gets these things, and I want to clarify that. I understand not everyone gets these things, but it is very common to get sick from your prenatals. Now, I didn't know that, and so I went to like my natural grocery store and I went through all the prenatal vitamins they had, and I chose the one that was supposedly gonna have like all the vitamins, because not all prenatal vitamins are the same, as you will find out. So I chose the one that supposedly had everything you needed, and it was a big hunky chunky pill, like it was huge. And I don't have problems swallowing pills, but I know some people do. So that was, anyway, if that tells you anything, it was disgusting. I felt 10 times worse taking the prenatal than I would without. And again, I started taking this in my first trimester, and it's just what the doctor advised. And I seriously felt so sick. It makes you feel more morning sickness, more discomfort. I don't know how to explain it, like indigestion. It's awful. I'm burping the taste of the vitamin all day long. Not even just like an hour, 2 hour side effect. It's all day long, and it's miserable. So I suggest you find a good one that's a gummy. I'll show you the ones that I take. So this is the prenatal that I take, just the Smarty Pants. I get minimal sickness from it, so hopefully that works for you. On to number 6, Charlie horses. Now, oh my gosh, along with the restless leg syndrome, once you fall asleep, you're awakened by this excruciating pain in your calf. That's where I get mine, in your calf, and you just can't get out of it. Like, my leg is just shaking. And I remember the first time it happened, I was like sleeping in bed, and then I was awoken by this pain, and I was like, oh my god! And I look at Cortland, and I'm like, Cortland, my leg! And not even an earthquake would wake him up, so it was pretty useless, but I just felt so miserable. They hurt really bad, and you seriously feel like the next day, like you have destroyed your legs at the gym. Like you had a good ass leg day, but unfortunately I did not. It's just a Charlie horse. 7th thing that I wrote down is a nausea, or what they call morning sickness. It's not just in the morning, and it can last all day long. So this one, I knew women got morning sickness when they were pregnant. I understood that, but I didn't realize like that it could happen all day long. To me, it was just, I heard either in the morning or at night, and I thought it went away, but apparently it is not. I had really bad morning sickness my first trimester, my second, mid, and then now that I'm in my 3rd, it's awful once again. A few hours after eating or something, I just feel like I need to vomit, and it's a really uncomfortable feeling, and I hate it. That, along with heartburn, that's probably one of the reasons why I just don't enjoy pregnancy. It's because it's hit me really hard, and it's really taken a toll on my body. Constantly feeling indigestion and heartburn really freaking sucks. The 8th thing I have is that people hella stare at you. I haven't really heard people talk about, maybe most people don't care and it's just a me thing, but so many people stare at me, and they stare at me like they've never seen a pregnant woman before. It's not even like a kind stare where they smile and, you know, like, oh, she looks cute. It's like dead staring at my stomach like, what the hell is in there? You know, I'm just like, yo, I'm trying to live my life here. I know I don't look the cutest. I know, I get it, okay? So, I don't love that. Okay, the 9th thing is you don't necessarily get more hungry, and you don't necessarily get cravings. I know that was kind of a mouthful, but let me explain. I personally have not had any cravings, and I don't get more hungry. You know how they say, like, in pregnancy, you're gonna get so hungry, and people think that you're eating for 2 and blah blah blah. No, that is not the case. I have not had any cravings, and I do not get more hungry. And this sucks because I have a hard time eating, and I have a hard time keeping food down. So I haven't been gaining as much weight as I should. I'm okay for now. I went to the doctor last week, and he says everything's fine. I just need to gain about 10 more pounds. And honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I don't get hungry and I don't crave food. It's the strangest feeling. If you know what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments so I don't feel like I'm alone on this one, because I do know a lot of pregnant women that do love to eat and, you know, they get so hungry and that's awesome, but I just don't. And final thing on my list is everyone has an opinion whether you ask for it or not. And I think this one is one of the ones that is just annoying to me. And I try to be really nice and I try to just see the positives, but it's really freaking annoying when people just give you their 2 cents for everything and they have to make everything so negative. I think that's what bothers me the most. I've had a lot of interactions where, you know, I'm sitting there and someone asks me, "Oh, how are you feeling?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just feel so sick with heartburn." And they'll be like, "Oh, it only gets worse from here." Okay, thanks. Just things like that. It's so annoying to me, and I hope it's not like rude of me to say, but I just don't want to hear it. If you have nothing positive to say at this point, I don't want to hear it. Another example is I've said, "Oh, I've thought about using reusable diapers," and people say,
"Oh, that's so impractical.
Oh, you're gonna hate that. That's gonna be so hard. What if you go traveling? What if you do this?"
And it's like, bruh, just let me live. Lastly, I just wanted to end off with some extra little things that I remember is things that I found kind of annoying that people would do or say to me, is people always commenting on how I don't look pregnant. And some women can take this as a compliment, some don't. It just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I said before, I struggle with body dysmorphia, so if people tell me I don't look pregnant, I feel like I just look fat. And that is one of my biggest triggers, and it's nobody's fault, it's just something personal that I have a hard time with. Another thing was names, baby names. I decided I'm just not telling anyone any names at all because everyone has something to say about your baby's name. Like, "Ooh, I knew a person that was named that and she's such a or I knew someone who was named that and they're kind of dumb, so I just don't love that name," or everyone has something to say and I'm just like, okay, you can't please everyone, and honestly at the end of the day it's whatever I like and whatever Cortland likes. So those are just a couple of extra things I remembered. Hey, oh my god, you got the zoomies. You got the zoomies? Don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help me out. It makes me feel supported. And let me know what kind of videos you guys like. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night or day. Goodbye. Talk to you soon.